a particular one way or the other. This recipe's got enough sugar in it. Less dishes, yeah. This recipe's got enough sugar in it that it would be perfectly okay with unsweetened, but we're just going to give this a stir around here. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Perfect. So normally at this point in the recipe you would minimal dishes. Yeah, I'm taking the IKEA approach today. Minimal. Usually you would press this into a square pan to let it set up while you do the other layers. Me, I'm just going to put it out on a baking tray so that it cools off faster, because I'm going to want to stir it through my ice cream base once I'm done with that. And that emote is awesome. Okay, so that looks, you know what, I could probably go with a little more coconut and a little more, well, I'll use up the rest of the cookies, because you want it slightly drier than it is right now, because you don't bake this. So I'll use up the rest of the cookies and a little more coconut, or a lot more. I guess we'll see. I'll go for another half a cup. I'm kind of surprised that coconut ended up in such a Canadian dish. It's not a particularly Canadian ingredient, but I'm not going to complain. It tastes delicious. Okay. Ooh. There we go. Yeah. See, this is why I didn't use the pastry cutter to work the pastry, because I'm getting enough of a workout with this. And, okay. Happy with... Yeah, I definitely needed just a little bit more. It's starting to get a little more crumbly and dry. Is exactly what you want. And go. I'm just going to grab a pan to slide that in. I'm actually going to check my oven too, because I think we're about ready to slide this bacon in. Oh yeah, she's hot. Okay, so I'm going to get that bacon in. We're just going to eyeball the time. I'm going to put a timer on because I'll probably forget about it if I don't. So we'll start with about 12 minutes. See how it goes. And then once it's almost cooked, we're just going to spread maple syrup on it. So, and then put it back in to let it caramelize a bit. And I've got my tray here. I'm just going to spread this out. I'm just going to pop this in the fridge so that it cools off a little faster. I really don't want it melting my ice cream base. So, and perfect. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. Yes, we're going to get to the potatoes shortly. They've been sitting in the water there for almost long enough. Excellent. Spread this out as much as I can so it'll cool off faster. And I know that this is more than I'm going to need for the entire ice cream, so this will probably end up being in a jar as a snack for, 2 a.m. when it's like, I need something to eat. Okay, so I've stabbed that enough. I'm going to put this in the freezer. And that's awesome, because it's time to do the ice cream itself. Look how my logs of dough are doing here too. Oh yeah, they'll be good. Okay, so when you are making any kind of ice cream, you really want to have all of your implements as cold as possible. because, well, with this one you're whipping cream, so I usually put the beaters in the freezer to go along with the bowls, but I forgot. So we'll just go with it. So no churn ice cream is really, really, really simple. It's literally condensed milk and heavy cream and whatever else you want to add. Vanilla. In my case, the mix-ins that I'm going to do. And so in one of these bowls, I am going to do the condensed milk in here. So in this bowl, I'm going to add 14 ounces of condensed milk, which is actually more than a can. I did the calculations, and each can is 300 mils, and we need about 414 mils, so sticky. Okay, so into the bowl. Yeah, like, I'm curious as to actually... let's grab another spatula here. God, I love condensed milk, but it's such a pain in the ass. And I'm going to say this every time I use it. Like, who came up with this idea for storing it? Really not the easiest to work with. Oh, you know what? Maybe this is. Maybe it is 14 ounces and I just don't know how to do math, which is entirely possible. Oh no, it's not. Okay, so it's like 13 ounces. Pretty close. Let's see if I can get just a little bit more out of this can so I don't have to open a whole new one. But I don't think that's gonna happen. So how rude, can. It's completely unfair. Yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be, pretty much. A lot of milk tea. A lot of milk tea. Good thing I like milk tea. Actually, I could eat this stuff with a spoon, I'll be honest. And to be fair, my one of my dad's favorite ways of consuming condensed milk is by the spoon, so we're at 13.4. I'm like, seriously? So close. So close. Okay. Oh. Careful, because we're going to hit that 14 pretty quick. Yeah, literally. Like, that's how much I had out of that can. Like, come on. Alright. Well, leftovers. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside, because in my other bowl, I'm going to need... It's interesting, they're two different colors. Same lot, but two different colors. Weird. And I don't need my scale anymore, so I'm going to get that out of the way. And to that, we need to beat up 2 cups of heavy cream. Oh, okay. I'm using my vinegar thing without rinsing it. Condensed milk, egg and coffee. Yeah, it's funny, I'm not a milk person, but I do enjoy condensed milk and evaporated milk. And milk tea has them both, so it's kind of the perfect food. Alright, so grab 2 cups of heavy cream and we're just going to whip this up to stiff peaks. More. And you can do pretty much anything you want with this recipe. Like, this is just the very basic base. You can literally hydrate. Thank you. I was laughing with Underground that I always have a bottle of water off to the side and I never actually drink out of it. So, and I keep meaning to set up a channel point redeem and I keep forgetting. So here we go. Thank you. I feel like I've been talking all day, so that is perfect. I'm gonna get the cream out of the way here, and we're going to beat the heck out of this. I apologize for the not so pleasant sound of things beating, but needs to be done. And I'm using the beaters. I don't bother using the whisk for cream. I find the beaters work just as well. In fact, it'll be there next week. You know what? I keep meaning to do it and I keep forgetting. Like, there's little things like that. I remember to change my go live and my stream description. I was kind of proud of myself for that. I did that like in the middle of my meeting. So, you know, I have my moments where I remember the things, and then there's other things. It's like, oh, shit, don't think about it till later. Got cream going everywhere. Apologies. That's why I use the high-sided bowl, because my aggressive mixer likes to spit it all over the place. Exactly. All the whisking. Ooh, and all the flying cream. Fantastic. The cream does whip faster when it's nice and cold, and the bowl is nice and cold, so hopefully it'll stop spitting at me soon. Oh yeah, it's starting to come along now. I feel like I need a bubble to do this. I'm gonna end up wearing half of it. Turn up the speed here and get this going faster. Yeah. There is cream literally everywhere right now. I'm hoping it doesn't hit the camera lens. Need to get one of those shields that they have for inclement weather outside. There's cream everywhere. It's actually a comment I made earlier that you can jump on, so I'm not really sure whether you just didn't catch it or whether you decided it was even too serious to use an instrument. Good. I'm just gonna do the last bit by hand once I towel off my arm. Like, yeah, that's at least it's just cream. It doesn't, not sticky or anything, but it is literally all over everywhere right now. With cream, when you're taking it to stiff peaks, I like to do the last little bit by hand just so you don't over whip it, because this is ice cream, not butter. So I just give it a last little bit by hand just to finish it off. And I am this cream is so temperamental. You can actually feel it starting to get stiffer, so it's kind of nice to do it by hand so that you actually can get the feel for when it's done, because you can't feel it through the mixer. So yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. Actually, that was running through my head, so yes, that is that's what she said. I'm going to grab that bowl with the condensed milk, and to make this the Nanaimo part of the Nanaimo bar, I am going to run and grab the ingredient I forgot to grab off the shelf, which, let's see if I can actually find it. Or did I hide it from myself? Because I tend to do that. Oh, gotta check on the bacon first. So, let's do this. How are we looking? Oh yeah, that still needs a good 4 or 5 minutes. I'm gonna set the timer again. Perfect, it's actually going. Okay, so, yeah, I forgot the custard powder, so I will be right back. You know, I restacked some stuff, so I can't remember where everything is. You know you have too much stuff in your pantry when you can't find things, so perfect. And here we go. So, the magic ingredient in Nanaimo bars and most anything like that, custard powder. This is my favorite brand, the Birds. Easy to find, and this is really delicious. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of that in with my condensed milk mixture. We'll see. I'll give it a taste afterwards, and I might add more. Who knows? So, I'm just gonna grab a spatula here. I'm just gonna grab the mixer out of the way here too. Bit of a wipe down there because it is covered in cream. Everything in this channel is dirty, I swear. Not intentional, I promise. I'm just gonna give this a stir through. And of course it looks white, but then it gets that yellow color. As you can see, it's already starting to give a bit of a tinge. Granted, the condensed milk is that yellowy color anyways, so it's not going to be as noticeable as it would be in a Nanaimo bar itself. But there we go. Oh yeah, you can definitely see that's definitely turning yellow for sure. Okay, and because it tastes amazing, I'm gonna add a little vanilla.
Can I get a hell yeah? Can I get a hell yeah?
Yep, splash of vanilla.
Shit.
That's fine there. And all we are going to do is we are going to fold in the whipped cream into this. We're going to do it in batches. We don't want to do it all at once. We'll end up losing all the air that we just whipped into that cream. So it's nice and combined. And I'm going to take a spatula full of whipped cream. Maybe a little bit more there. And then we are just going to do the standard folding method, which is cut down, fold over, turn the bowl. Cut down, fold over, turn the bowl. Cut down, fold over, turn the bowl. And that way you're moving it, but you're not agitating it so much. Like you want it to get combined. And you want to do a little bit at first just to slacken up the mix a bit. Oh. There we go. And you just have to be patient with it. It is kind of a time-consuming process, but it's worth it in the end. Because then you get that light, fluffy, it's almost like soft serve consistency with this, which is awesome. And it's kind of funny when I thought about it, and because I was going to do this kind anyways, and I'm like, oh, I remembered about the Nanaimo Bar McFlurry, and I'm like, okay. So yeah, soft serve would work for this. Alright, I need to go check on that bacon, so we're just gonna let this dude sit here quietly. Hopefully he'll behave. Stop. Okay, and oven. Let's try this guy. Okay. Yeah, so looking pretty good. I'm gonna give it another couple minutes. It just needs to crisp just a smidge more. And there's one piece there that actually fell, so I'm gonna have to grab the tongs, which I was hoping not to have to use tongs today because I'm terrible with tongs. As Underground pointed out the other day, I'm half Fijian, not half Tongan. So, yes. Come for the food, stay for the jokes. Okay. So, getting pretty good there. Just have to be patient with it. And I always am amazed at people who just like beat the crap out of things and it still turns out, because I know that if I was less gentle than I'm being right now, we would have a problem. Okay, so now we can add more of the whipped cream. We're gonna do a bigger portion of it now. With that. And you can see like it's starting to bulk up really nicely, but it's not losing any of the air, which is a good sign. Means I'm not stirring it too hard. And the best part about this ice cream is it's like super fast, other than this part, but there's no cooking involved, because with a standard ice cream base, which I will one day show on stream, you have to make a custard, and then you have to let it cool down to a certain temperature, and then you have to churn it. But it's the making of the custard that takes a long time. So, got that settled out of the way with this. I don't know about anybody hasn't like. I don't know if anybody remembers them, but they were like these. I think they were meant for when you go camping. They're like, they look like hamster balls, and you basically put all your ingredients in to this hamster ball, and then you just roll it around and shake it. Like, I've always wondered if that actually worked, or if it was just a way to entertain kids so that parents could have some time to think and breathe without the children around. I'm thinking that's probably what it was, but pretty good, and we'll get this last bit in here. It's going well. I can't believe that can was like 0.8 ounces away from being the perfect amount for this. I suppose I could have cut down the amount of whipped cream, or just, you know, not open the second can, but, you know, baking is accuracy, so didn't want to screw that up. Indigo sold them. Oh, really? Right. Yeah, they were like plastic round ball, about the size of a soccer ball, maybe a little bigger. Not quite as big as a basketball, but yeah, you would put all your ingredients in it, and then you would like roll it around on the floor, and it would magically make your ice cream for you. Now, I don't know what ingredients you were supposed to put in there. I'm assuming it was sort of going on the churning theory. And I'm like, wouldn't you just end up with butter? That would have been my thought. So, yeah. And they did. They look like hamster balls. So, I always thought they were kind of weird. And they came in like really fun, funky colors. And like, I'm assuming you probably had to put ice in them, because I know like a lot of traditional ice cream makers, before the advent of ones with the removable bowl, like the one I have, that you stick in the freezer for, you know, 24 hours before you need to make ice cream, or the ones that come with compressors. You actually had to get ones that had a bucket around it, and you had to get ice and salt and churn it. And I'm like, yeah, no. I saw when they're trying to sell them on Amazon and convince you that it's a really good idea. I'm not sold on that, so. Okay, so that is looking amazing. I'm super happy with the consistency of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to, they didn't make, well, that's the thing. It's like the people that made Underground's waffle maker and griddle and everything, they also make like an individual personal sized ice cream machine. And yeah, I'm like, so what? Like ice cream for ants? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes ice cream. And yeah, it's basically like ice cream for ants. So I'm just going to pop this in the freezer to let it cool before I put my other things in it. Because we've still got one more thing we need to do with that. And that will give me time to check my pastry. Oh yeah, my pastry is pretty firm there. So that'll be next. I'm just going to finish off bacon here. And let's here. I think we're pretty good. Smells like, oh yeah, okay. I'm happy with the way this looks. Because you want it mostly cooked. So we're getting pretty crispy there. Yeah, Fred Hammond gonna have that much. That'd be amazing. Okay, so that is looking quite nice. Now I just need to grab tongs because I need to move a couple of those pieces back up to the rack. It's always the fun part. Oops. Oh. So apparently that is a fight. There we go. Lay them sideways like they're lounging. Bacon loungers. There we go. Okay. So this is fun. There we go. I keep wanting to reach in and grab it with the hand, and I'm like, probably not your smartest idea to do that. So we're going to avoid third-degree burns today, if at all possible. There we go. I slid right off. Okay, now all we need to do is brush some maple syrup on them. So I'm just gonna grab some maple syrup and I'm gonna pour it into a smaller bowl. And I'm gonna grab a pastry brush to brush it on. And here we are using the good stuff today. Pure maple syrup, 110%, product of Canada. If it's not Canadian, it's not in my house. There's one thing I refuse to do is not use Canadian maple syrup. So, get this guy open. And then, because you don't want to store it in the can afterwards, I just put it in a mason jar. And it lasts in the fridge, no problem. You never have to worry about it. And it doesn't last long enough that worry about it going bad. It will eventually, like anything, go bad if you don't use it up. Okay, so I'm just gonna brush this. Yeah. Thank you. Another can, yeah. What's the bowl? I like my bacon. You can vote me yes. So we're just going to brush maple syrup liberally on this. And then pop this back in the oven and let it caramelize. And we should be good to go. And that's perfect because that'll give us time to start work on the tarts. Yeah, and I like how it's like collecting in the creases, so this should be interesting. I've never done this before. I've seen it done. And I've meant to do it. Never actually done it. If I weren't using it for a crumble topping for the butter tarts, I would actually probably sprinkle it with some cayenne or something spicy like paprika, just to give a little bit of a kick. Maybe an ancho chili powder would be really nice. That's got a good smoky flavor. Guajillo would be nice. Just give it that little extra kick. Okay, so that out of the way. And guys go back into the oven. Okay. Perfect. Oh, I'm happy with that. Excellent. So, bacon's almost done. I'm gonna put a timer on because I'm not exactly sure how long it's gonna take, but I have a feeling it'll be a few minutes. Alright, now clear some stuff out of the way because we need to do the next part of our butter tarts, which is the pastry. So I'm going to grab that out of the freezer. And if you weren't doing this, you know, with time restraints, you could put it in the fridge for a couple hours. I love ancho. Yeah, it's my favorite. I had thought about it, but I decided that I thought the crumble with the Nanaimo bar would be really good, and the bacon on top of the butter tart would just be ridiculous. So, yeah, we're gonna go with that. I'm just gonna grab my mat and my pen and cutter and some parchment because I'm not sure. Need butter and bacon crumble Nanaimo. That sounds like it could be a business opportunity for someone. Okay, so let's get the mat out here. Just need to move my keyboard sideways. I'm afraid to touch my keyboard now that I have everything working in the chat. Like, oh, be careful. Yeah, no, that's interesting because, yeah, I actually, I did a 420 theme stream, and while I didn't use any of the product I did find out how you could adapt recipes to make them 420 friendly. So with these, because we're making 12, this will make 12. So I'm going to cut this into 6. So let's hope I get this right. That down the middle. 3. Sliding. Oh, yeah, that's apparently my cutting needs a bit of work there. So that's okay. They're not going to be perfect, and you're going to end up rolling them fairly thin and cutting it out. So hopefully that won't be too awkwardly off. I think that's actually a lot of people, and now that you can get it that much more easily, and obviously being, you know, legal, it's that much better for people. So and props to Tat for reminding me of this technique the other day. So I will never ever forget it. I'm just gonna grab the correct cutter. I just need to make sure I have the right size one. Gotta be the 5-inch diameter. So, sorry, 5 centimeter? 5-inch. Oh, I have to go back to the botanicals. Ah, nice. I love things like that. Okay, so what size are these supposed to be? 12 centimeter cookie round. What's supposed to, oh, this is not my, I love my tape measure, but it does not have centimeters and, okay, so 12, no, that's a big one. Oh, I don't have a cutter that big. 12 centimeters? Are you kidding me? That's ginormous. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna go by the mat. It's like, interesting. Okay, so, yeah, not a center. Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna get these and get it a roll here. Oh yes, much better this way. Does she like to do a lot of sort of crafty things, Tat? needs to be about 5 mil thick, so that's pretty good. A little bit more. It should be good there. Alright. Let's see. Oh, I'm happy with that. Oh, that's so nice and soft. Okay, it's a little thicker on that end, but that's okay. Let's give it one more blast there. Perfect. Alright, so I don't have a cutter that size. Alright, well we're getting butter tarts this size because that's my biggest cutter. Hopefully that will be a-okay. Going to lead to a lot of waste, but we can run with it. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my tin. While I'm thinking about it, I'm going to just lightly grease it. You don't have to do too much to it because it is a buttery taste. Yeah, Ben and Jerry's, nice, nice. Okay, so I'm just gonna give it a bit of spray. Like I said, there's so much butter in the pastry that you don't really have to do too much with it. It's just more preventative, but you should be safe. Now, let's see if this is actually going to work size-wise. Desperately curious. So, let's see. And the way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to fold it up like this, kind of like a flower, and then just settle it right in. That's going to be awfully tiny. Okay. Might have to slightly better diameter. A bowl. How wide is my bowl here? Let's measure my bowl. My bowl, I can just trace around it. Yes, the bowl will work. That's going to be awfully tiny otherwise. That's not even hitting the bottom. Okay, you just want to sort of smudge it in as much as you can. Okay, this guy's going to be sad, but that's okay. He'll be the baby one. He'll be the tester at the end to taste. Okay, I'm just gonna go check that bacon. Let's see how we're going. It smells pretty good over here. Oh, that's nice. It's getting so glossy. That's awesome. I'm gonna give that another 2 minutes, and I think that should be perfect because I like the bacon. I like my bacon crispy, and it kind of needs to be for this application. No, we're not doing softer bacon. So I'm just going to continue rolling this stuff out. Let's move these out of the way since they're the wrong size. I used that one. Man, I just got stuff everywhere today. I'm usually better organized than this. Okay. So, let's continue rolling these out before this pastry gets too warm to handle. So, the poll said so. Oh, softer bacon. Interesting. I didn't see the poll. I was busy making bacon. I like bacon right in the middle. I don't like it limp. Like, I want the fat to have rendered, but I don't want it like shatteringly crisp. Like my dad likes his bacon shatteringly crisp, and I just can't do it. Like practically burnt. It's so crisp. That's not even going to be a circle, Bonsai. What are you doing here? Okay. Yeah, no one likes limp meats. Yes. And yeah, I like mine with a bit of sturdiness to it. Like I like it to, when I pick it up, it doesn't flop over, but I don't want it to disintegrate in my hand either. So it's that perfect blend in both worlds. Is that gonna be big enough? Perfect. Okay. Oh yeah. Butter. My cutting, not so much. There we go. Okay. And, oh yeah, that's gonna fit much better. I'll just fold it up like that, and then plop it into the tin. And then it'll just sort of flop over there. What did the recipe say at the beginning? It's like, you don't want it to look too perfect, you want people to actually think that you made them, so. I think I am nailing that part of it. How's my stream on TOS? Because how could it be? Right? You'd never think I was TOS. You'd look at weird-ass bacon and butter tarts and think, oh, that's perfect. That's a wholesome family show. And I've got some land to sell you if you believe that. Okay. Oh boy. But honestly, Underground, I think you're the reason. It borders sometimes, so. I will personally hold you responsible if I get banned. Is it in the middle of nowhere? Yes. Yes, it is. It is waterfront property, oceanfront property in beautiful Saskatchewan. So, you know, if you're interested, DM me and we can chat after. Although right now, I think most people want to be anywhere but here. I don't know if anybody has been keeping up with the latest foibles of the people that are running this province, but it continues to shock and amaze just about every day, so. Just when you think they couldn't get any worse, they pretty much say, hold my budget whiskey and something else. And usually that something else is coming out of Danielle Smith's mouth. Today she decided that it's a travesty of justice that that woman who was part of the convoy got rearrested. I'm like, now we know exactly what side you're on. Good to know. Yeah, okay. How much is this land? That's negotiable. We can see. I think it'll be 1 Bitcoin. Would work, or would have worked last week, but maybe not so much now. Okay, this guy's torn a bit. This guy's gonna be totally scuffed, but we good. We just press it back together. We'd be fine. Smush it down. Really need to pick up pace here because the pastry's starting to get soft. Whereabouts in Saskatchewan are you from, Scotch Bear? The middle of nowhere? Get this dough out of the way here. Redvers, where I've never heard of, so I'm going to let you give me using the Saskatoon and Regina as my orientation points. Oh, okay, that's fun, Carlisle. Okay, I actually have heard of those. Did I forget to set my timer on? Yeah, it totally did not start. That's the only thing about this timer is if you don't hit it exactly correctly, it doesn't go on. Oh, there we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Golden, crispy, maple glazed bacon. That is perfection. I am so happy with that. I'm just going to let that cool off, and I'm going to actually turn my oven down just a smidge. Actually, what is it sitting at right now? Yeah, it's at 400, and I think that's what my butter tarts need to cook at. So yeah, they're perfect. Yeah, so leave that on because we'll get tarts in there as soon as we're done with those. But how good does that bacon look? Oh. Okay, how did I end up with that? There we go. Yeah, it's starting to get warm in here. Which is funny because I thought it was going to be like lousy all day and it sure turned out to be a lovely day near the end. Need bacon camera please and thank you. There you go. As you wish. Bacon just sitting there in all of its glory. That's the best part. And to be fair, I think it's probably more interesting than watching me struggle with this dough. Which is like super, super, super soft now. And it's funny, it tends to roll thinner on one side. I need to be more cognizant of that. We're gonna have these weird ass butter tarts with really thick one side and really thin on the other side. Okay. The good thing is that these get another rest in the freezer before they go back and go into the oven, so there's that. Alright. Are we only on my... Jesus, this is only number 5. Oh my god. Oh my god. I did not account for how long this is going to take. Work on a cam zoom. Oh yes. Yeah, that cam is pretty much stationary. It does not do a whole lot. I'll just have a GoPro action camera for the bacon. That'll be fun. Okay. There we go. It will on Sunday. Perfect. Excellent. Just what I need. More cameras. You know you're not... It's weird to be in a kitchen that doesn't have, you know, all sorts of cameras and lighting now. I feel strange. Oh. I'm sure anyone who streams feels the same way. Although I'm curious to see the database living room. They had mentioned that it was quite the interesting setup they have for lack of room. Oh, geez. I just ripped that one. Come on. There we go. Oh, well. These are all going to look homemade. Yeah, exactly. Another late night bonsai bake. Exactly. Exactly. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to chill out with this one today because it's a holiday tomorrow, so I'm not in any kind of hurry. Although I do want to get this back into the fridge because it's starting to get really soft. And it'll have a bit of time to rest up there and firm up again while I make the filling, which is super easy. And I have a feeling that this one's not going to be big enough, so I'm just gonna hedge my bets and add a little bit of extra of scraps to it. I point out rustico. Exactly. Thank you, Umbra. I will use that. Rustic. Rustic is good. Although it's funny, when I'm watching my favorite show, it's usually not a compliment when the judges tell you that. I've been watching MasterChef Australia, and I'm very sad because it is almost done. But one of my favorite contestants went home the other day, and he was the only one that ever got away with being told his cooking was rustic because he did classic Italian food. And that was the way it was done. It was rustic. So, yeah. Poor placement. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. You know what database I've often thought about it? You've witnessed my inability to finish on time for a few things, but I think part of that has to do with the fact that I stop and talk. I think if I were actually in like a competition setting, it might be a different story, because I'd probably be like, I'd just be focused. I wouldn't have to talk or anything. But it has crossed my mind. Problem is that the Canadian Bake Off is pretty much like the ugly stepsister of all of the Bake Off franchises. Like it's literally like it's so scuffed. Look at me, Underground. I'm picking up your favorite terms there. I've thought about it. It'd be fun. Yeah. If Canada does another Bake Off, I think they actually are. Like, I think it's weird because I know, like, for regular British Bake Off, like, their applications are still going while they're still airing the episodes. So there's, I don't know when Canada's aired, but I think it would be a pretty similar situation. So do it. All you influences. I've been thinking about it more and more. To be honest, it's doing this has made me realize that I could actually be there, because I've always worried that when the cameras come around and you need to talk to the camera people and tell them what you're doing, or when the judges come around, I don't think I'd be able to, carry on a conversation and cook. But I think streaming has actually sort of showed me that I can walk and chew gum, for lack of a better way of putting it. So it has crossed my mind. I'm definitely more open to the thought of it right now than I would have been before. So exactly, March. Oh, shoot. Well, and now I know for next time. That's good to know, though, because I wasn't sure if they were doing another one. So clearly it's doing well enough to come back. And there's been some pretty good stuff on it. Like, I have looked through the Wikipedia to see what the challenges on it were. Aw, thanks, database. If nothing else, you get the notoriety of being the if you manage to get on, you get the notoriety of being the first person off, It's funny because is it the same here as it is in Britain, where you get a fun trophy in the title, you don't win anything? Because I know in Britain, because it originally started on BBC, which is a government station, they couldn't give out any prize money or anything. That's why they give them the cake stand. But then, being the winner of the British Bake Off now pretty much cements your career, and actually getting anywhere near the tent leads to a lot of opportunities. Like, I know I follow Instagram of a lot of the people after the season, and I never follow it during because I don't want spoilers. But you follow it afterwards, and they're out doing all sorts of stuff. Like one of the girls from last year's British Bake Off, beautiful girl, and she's done everything literally from cooking demos to modeling. So Bonsai, thank you. Yes, you know what? I think I just, I might throw my hat in the ring. Because what's the worst they could say? No, right? Like, you never know if you don't try. What I do know is that I am really struggling getting these off the paper and into the tin, but I think they'd be even worse if I was doing it just on the mat. So there's that. I'll put the slide in. They're starting to get a little too warm, so they're just not sliding; they're sticking on the sides. So that's fun. And I'll give you the quick view update here of how they look so far. Yeah. Not my finest work, but I'm sure they'll be tasty, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. Do they taste good? Oh, I think I put a dent right through the bottom down. We could have a leaky tart there. Nobody likes a leaky tart, but I'm sure they taste good anyways, so we good. Yeah, exactly, database. I think I saw it originally attributed to Wayne Gretzky, but now everybody has made some meme version of it, so it could be pretty much anybody at this point. So exactly. And, you know, like, it's always been, what's the worst they can say? No? And if you don't go in expecting nothing and something good happens, there you go. It's best to give it a shot. So yeah, I have been thinking about it, and which actually brings me to something super, super exciting. I am, like I've said often, I'm a massive fan of MasterChef Australia. Like, I'm obsessed. Like, I download all the episodes and then I save them and I just rewatch them. And it and Bake Off are my two. I watch them all the time. And so, anyways, they have their pressure tests. Abraham Gretzky. Yes. That right there is the perfect attribution. I love that. Cut, print, that is perfect. Yeah. So anyways, I'm obsessed with MasterChef Australia, and they run things slightly differently than the American one. They have pressure tests. I haven't watched the American one for a while, so I don't know if it's gone this way, because it sort of seems to be following Australia a bit. And actually, Gordon Ramsay has been a guest judge and test setter on the Australian one. He's actually there fairly frequently, almost every year. So anyways, they have these pressure tests where a chef will come in and bring a dish that they have to recreate in order to stay in the competition. And there's one particular chef who's a pastry chef. Her name is Kirsten Tibbles, and like, she is the queen of chocolate, and she does these amazing desserts. And like, you look at it and they're mind-boggling. They're so cool. Well, she has a pastry school in Australia, and they offer, like, I've been to her YouTube, and she's got some really good stuff on her YouTube, but she actually has a school that has online classes. And I am happy to announce that I signed up the other day for a year's worth of her online tutorials, all of her classes. So it's all the videos, you get to download the recipes. Yeah, I am super, super excited. So watch this space, because there's going to be more patisserie happening. I am very, very excited about that. So yeah, I'd been thinking about it for a while, and then I'm like, you know what, just do it. The best part is that the exchange from Australian to Canadian is actually favorable to Canada, so that worked out even better. So I'm very excited to start watching all of these videos and learning all of this new fun stuff. And she even puts the recipes for the challenges that she brings to the MasterChef kitchen up there, because that's where I sort of fell in love with them. Yeah, I'm super excited. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be all of the chocolate and all of the entremets, and yeah, I can't wait. Like, I could have sat there and just looked at the classes for hours, and there's a new one every week, so that's even better. Plus, there's like a huge archive already, so I am planning on going through and downloading absolutely everything, regardless. But yeah, so it's like I have a year to do it, so it should be fine. I should be able to get through them all. But yeah, there's been a couple MasterChef challenges that I've really, really enjoyed, so I'm really looking forward to tackling those. If I can get the ingredients. That's the only problem, is trying to source some of the things. Not the easiest. Sometimes Amazon is your friend, sometimes it's not. When it comes to the tools I need, Amazon is my friend. When it comes to ingredients, not so much. But we do have a couple places in the city here that do specialize in the unusual things, so hopefully I'll be able to hook myself up with the fun stuff, because who doesn't want to airbrush cocoa butter? I do. So, okay. We're getting close here, kids. We're getting close. Alright. one was cutting it close too. As you can see, I've still not managed to figure out how to not roll out ovals when I need circles, or rectangles when I need circles. I will eventually get that figured out. I don't know. I don't know whether it's just the pressure I put on it or what, but... Last two. Very excited about that. Not gonna lie. Starting to get really tough to work with. And we still have tin to make. Which is, honestly, the most important part of today was the french fries, because I love my carbs. So, I know you're supposed to try and make these look pretty. I'm just trying to get them into the tin. I'm just trying to get them in the tin. I've stopped being concerned about whether the edges are awesome. Because they are going to puff up a little bit, hopefully. And plus they'll be filled with delicious sugary filling, so can't really go wrong with that. Oh, look at me. I'm maybe making a circle. No, it's an ellipse. No, it's a diamond. Wow. That just went south fast. Okay. Probably could have cut smaller pieces of parchment. Mental note. Next time, smaller pieces of parchment. There we go. Right, Underground? I know. I'm like, didn't think this one through. It's funny because I was like totally chilling before too. I was like, oh, I just got all my stuff ready. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think of all the little details. Just one more, just one more. Okay. Hold it. Oops, runaway pin. I'll show you guys this one. All done here. Marvel at the slight mess. We'll be okay with that. Okay. I'm trying to put them in but not poke my fingernails through it. That's been a fun task. Okay. You know what? That emote is going to make me smile every time I see it. It doesn't matter. I love it so much. And the Merple Lurf. Because I figured you need a Merple Lurf for Canada Day. I need to remember to put my flag up tomorrow. I have one sitting in my outdoor storage closet that I put it away a couple years ago and totally forgot about it, so I'll actually put it up this year. Merple Lurf! Merple Lurf! I actually have an animated one of that too that I'd hoped would get approved, but sadly Twitch decided that the beaver was okay, and that one was okay, but not the one that actually moves, so at least I've got one. That's all that matters. And then I've got a potato too. I don't know. I found having a potato was hilarious for whatever reason. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have actually gotten to the end of these. Move that out of the way. Oh. Both of them? Oh, he put the one up front this morning? Or today? Because I know the one was on the back deck yesterday. I noticed that, but my parents put one up front and one in the back, which is fantastic, except the one in the front, the way the flagpole is, it's sort of at an angle. So if it's particularly windy, you quite often get slapped in the face with a flag. But it was not up when I was over there yesterday, so last night. Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate him putting it up after I left so it didn't hit me in the face. That's awesome. Okay, so as you can see, They're not too bad. Couple little wonky spots, but that's okay. You know what? Because they're going to bake up beautifully, and it's not going to matter, and they're going to have delicious filling. So, just about that one's not quite pushed down. And okay, yeah, this guy just looks sad. He's going to be teeny tiny, but that's okay. I'm just going to move this stuff out of the way. I'm going to get these guys back in the freezer to chill for a bit while we make the filling. And I will also check on my ice cream because I don't want it to get too firm while we get this going. Oh, these guys just need to chill for a few minutes. Can't go wrong with butter tarts. Exactly. Is it? Oh. And that's the fun part about having a Ring doorbell, is that your anything triggers it off. Fantastic. That's hilarious, actually. Thinking about it. Oh, but yours goes to your watch, doesn't it? My mom has the Ring doorbell connected to her Apple Watch, so yeah, that's probably a lot of fun every time it goes off. Okay. Just get this extra stuff out of the way, and we'll get on to the filling. Ah, yes. Well, at least you know your Apple Watch is working, right? There's that, I suppose. Okay, so we are back to the filling for the butter tarts. Now I need maple syrup, butter, eggs, sugar, vanilla, all the stuff that I put on this tray to be super handy. I don't know why I was picking it up individually. Yeah. Why am I picking this up by itself when I put it on the tray specifically so I could just carry it over and be super handy? So, and I do need a bowl. Yes. And a whisk. Yeah. So, let's grab a bowl. You'd think I'd done absolutely nothing to prepare for this stream. I'm gonna melt the butter. Grab a whisk. Not that one. Okay, so how much sugar do we need? Oh, this is the weight, isn't it? 150 grams of dark brown sugar. I have a feeling I do not have enough in that one, so I'm just going to grab my scale here. Actually, I have a scale right there. I personally like it sort of... I like when I cut it in half to have a little bit of an ooze, but not like super gooey oozy. I don't want it all over my hands when I cut it open. But I also like raisins. And I know I'm going to be very controversial here. I'm putting raisins in because I love raisins. Yeah. Oh, that was aggressively melted. Okay. Just gonna let that cool off there for a second. Wow. My microwave is like not happy with that butter. Wow. Okay. We're just gonna let that sit for a minute, which is okay because we're gonna measure out the rest of the ingredients here. How about you, Tat? Get rid of my moisture keepers there. 150. Oh, I didn't think I'd have enough. I did. Excellent. Excellent. Perfect. Excellent. Well, that was easy. I was sure I'd have to try craisins. Ooh, I love craisins. I have a bag of craisins. What say you, chat? Craisins or raisins? I like mine firm. Like I like them to have a little bit of salt. You don't want it to be like I've had some that are like obviously mass produced, and you could definitely tell that it was a little too overbaked, or it's been sitting around for too long. It's gonna break up some of these lumps here because those would be a pain in the ass to dissolve if I don't. Not that a butter chunk, sugar chunk is ever a bad thing. And the warm butter will help. Okay. Pretty good here. Okay, so while that's happening, I'm actually just gonna start melting this because I'll explain that in a minute. Try and get like 85 things done at once here. With a very low power for that. Because it is chocolate, I am going to keep an eye on it though. So we need the dark brown sugar. We have the 3/4 cup of maple syrup. That's a good amount of maple syrup. That might have been slightly generous, but I'm okay with that. And there we go. And the butter. Ooh, the extremely warm butter, which is now sort of browned butter, so perfect. That's okay. I love the nutty taste of brown butter, so you're a-okay with that. Pull. Raisins? Ooh. I like most things cold Scotch Bear. Like, I refrigerate all of my chocolate that I want to eat. But I kind of a room temperature food person. See if we can say that 5 times fast. I couldn't even get it once, so I'm going to say for me, no. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I like my chocolate not melting in my hand as I'm eating it. So there's that. And I think it tastes better cold. Yes, I quite often have the really delicate ones. I will put in the freezer, like things like arrows and stuff. But my apartment is so hot that I need to put it in. I need to put it in the fridge, or it just ends up like all sticky, like ugh, so gross. Wow, 50-50. I can't see the results. Give me a second. Yes, heckin' no. Is the heckin' no to raisins in general, or is the heckin' no to putting in crazy? Because I know the butter tarts are like super polarizing. And let's see. Great. Okay, I'm not gonna cook. I was worried I might cook my egg if I put it in with that butter, but it cooled off nicely, so we're safe. And I'm gonna add a teaspoon of white vinegar and vanilla that I never measure. Teaspoon. There we go. Vinegar is gonna help it puff up nicely. I'm afraid I'm gonna spill that, so I'm just gonna dump it out. Vanilla. And then a couple eggs just to help it set nicely when we're done. Raisins, yeah, raisins. Just can stuff on there when they're fine. Oh, like just eat like a box of raisins. Yeah, I love raisins in things, but you have to be careful because if they're exposed when they're cooking, then you can run the risk of having that they get like super hard. And I think that's why so many people don't like raisins in things, is because they've had something that's been overbaked and you've got like the freaking like pieces of coal type raisins in there. So let's give this a whisk up. And there we go. So that's awesome that we have heckin' no, but where are we with the results? Are we done yet? Are we not done yet? Sunmaid, oh yes, yeah. I think that's what everybody grew up on. I didn't even realize there were other varieties. Sunmaid had quite the monopoly on the raisin market with kids when I was a kid. Those little red box. Although, you know what? I love Sunmaid raisins, but damn you if you put them in my Halloween bag. I do not want raisins for Halloween. And I know everybody's like, oh, I'll just give raisins to the kids because there's so much. No, they're not. They're sugar bombs. They're sugar bombs. Like, I love the reasoning that, oh, we'll give you raisins because it's healthier for you. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, exactly, Umbra. I'm like, you're not doing anybody any favors by giving them raisins for Halloween. And you increase the likelihood of bad things happening to your house. And I can know. Did somebody pay to do more? Yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna grab my raisins because we are just gonna go traditional. It's still, yeah, exactly. Raisins lose. Well, raisins win in this kitchen. So, sorry, Paul. Because it is Elizabeth's birthday week still, we're going to go with raisins because I know she loves raisins. Although I definitely am interested in trying a craisins. And I'm going to go with a half a cup of raisins or walnuts. Oh, any of those things that were in like the Halloween colored, like the waxy paper with like the white with the orange and the yellow. Ah, so gross. And I'm like, why don't you like people? Like, you know what? Why don't you just put razor blades in apples? That's about the equivalent of giving those molasses thingies on a stick. What else didn't I like getting in my... Ooh, wax lips. Oh, those are fun. The other thing I never really was a huge fan of. Oh yeah, Halloween jelly beans are good. And again, another controversial opinion. I am full of them today, by the way. I actually don't mind candy corn. It's not like my favorite. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, candy corn, right on. But I do like candy corn, so I'm just gonna grab the shells out of the freezer here. Doing pretty good. Yeah, they're much happier now. Got a little bit of firm to them. And this is such a smarter way of doing this than the way I used to do it, which is put the raisins in the bowl and then try and get an equal dispersal of raisins, which never happens. You always have like one tart that has half the raisins and 3 tarts that are empty. So apples, they waited to, oh yeah, like, oh gubby, anything that has sort of like a pastel creamy finish to it, yuck, no thanks. What else am I like? Oh, those Kraft square caramels, just like, because when you get them fresh out of the bag, they're okay, but the ones that you get around Halloween, I swear to God, those are like the leftovers that they specifically bag up for that particular purpose, to torture children. So, yeah. And, oh, wagon wheels. Blech. No thanks. You can keep those. And it's funny because they're even worse now than they were back then. Like, got a box when I did my wagon wheel stream a few weeks ago, and yeah, they've gotten smaller and they're nowhere near what could be considered food. What else didn't I like? It was pretty much anything, because at that point I didn't, yeah, sadder, yeah, exactly. They're much sadder. But I find a lot of things are sadder now, like, as time's gone by, yeah, I'm putting these in by hand, and there's still one tart that gets, but this one's going to be shorter anyway, so that's okay. I find as time goes by, everything's gotten sadder. Like, you look at candy bars, they've all gotten smaller. Like, I used to have this recipe, I'm just going to grab a ladle, for these things. They're called Mars bar squares, and it's basically like Rice Krispies with melted chocolate in them as the bottom layer, and then a middle layer, a layer on top of Mars bars that have been melted down. And my recipe used to take think it was like 4 regular Mars bars, and that was back. And then I went to make, I hadn't made them in a long time. Then I went to make them again, and I'm like, I need 5 Mars bars now because they've made them smaller. So, yeah. Fuck you, candy companies. That's what I have to say about that. And I find that they've reduced the quality of the chocolate in a lot of cases here. I'm just going to ladle this in. I'm not going to fill them too full. I want them, because it is going to have a bit of a puffing effect with the egg here, so see if I can not make a disastrous mess out of it. There we go. Oh, look at the color of that. That is so nice. That deep golden brown. I think with the way I made mine, I'm probably going to have a little extra left over, but that's okay. Better to have too much than not enough. I suppose I could have made this in a jug and a bit easier to pour, but again, that would have been too easy. Give it a nice stir here. Oh, I love this color. And perfect. Speed up the process. You can tell I'm feeling more confident now. Let's speed up this process. Try not to spill it all over the tray itself. If I don't. I'm feeling really confident, but I'm like, I've done that before and ended up having to like randomly take a little tiny spoonful from here, a little spoonful from there to try and even it out. Yeah, I think I would have. I hope so, database. I'm pretty stoked about it, and really, you can't go wrong with brown sugar and maple syrup. And the bacon smells amazing too. Yeah, I have a big 4 cup, and I have a big 8 cup one, and I probably should have done it in there, but that's okay. Hindsight's 20/20, and we're almost done here anyways. So, okay, I thought I was gonna have a lot left over, but that turned out to be a lie. So, wow. I love when recipes literally leave you with no leftovers. That's amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna give these guys a little bit of a shake. We're gonna head over to the stove. Check out the bacon, because it's looking pretty. And did not think this through. Okay, so we're gonna go this way. And these are gonna go in for about 20 minutes. We'll give them a check, see if you need a little longer, but bye-bye, pretties. Remember to set the timer. Okay, so I'm going to move some stuff out of the way here, and then we are going to get back to the ice cream. Just need to slide some of this out of the way. I'm gonna need that again, so I'm going to bring that back. It smells pretty freaking amazing in here. I'm not going to lie. Like, the bacon is killing me. It's killing me. I have a feeling that there will be a taste test of that happening. Just, you know, for science. I do everything for science. I want to make sure that you guys aren't getting the oil and slide this way over somewhere where it can't possibly get knocked over. You know, I like to make sure that everything's good for you guys, so I'll definitely have to try that bacon. Wow, this went from like 0 to... Are you kidding me? In no time. Yes, this is the glamorous part of the stream. We're just gonna move dishes. I just have to remember that over there. Okay, I think we are good there. It's no longer necessary. Let's slide that over here. Oh, sorry about that. A little loud. Okay, so back to the ice cream. Like, what am I doing now? Oh, ice cream still. Okay, so I have this here that I'm trying to melt it really slowly. It's a ganache that I had extras of. Because originally today's stream, before I remembered that it was Canada Day, was actually going to be how to use up all the stuff that I've got left in my fridge. Because I do have a lot of bits and pieces of the decorations of things, so... And then it turned into the Canada Day stream, so... However, this was a ganache that I used for one of the delicious things that have come out of this kitchen, and so I'm going to use that as the chocolate element for the swirl. So I just don't want to heat it up too quickly, because as like chocolate will do, it will seize. So we're just going to give it some slow love here. Yeah, like that went from 0 to 60 in no time. So, but it's not too bad. I just don't want it to be too warm going into that ice cream. But it has had a bit of time to chill there while we've been waiting, so we should be okay. Yeah, I'm like, I'll trade you butter tarts for a bonfire, Elizabeth. I'm like, I can't remember the last time we actually had a fire. Okay, that's actually it looks much much scarier than it is. It's actually not that bad, so that will not deflate my ice cream. Let's get that back out. Bing chilling. Yeah, it's much cooler than I thought it was going to be. I was worried that it was going to be really, really too warm, and then I'd have to wait for it to cool down, which is always fun. So let's grab this ice cream base out of the freezer. And the crumble part. Excellent. So yeah, it's already starting to set up. Whoop. And apologize for the back and forthing here. We're just gonna move some stuff away. Oh Oh, it's been longer than that. We've had fire bans for the last 2 summers, haven't we? Like it's got to have been at least 2 or 3 years, unless you had one and I wasn't invited. But okay, yeah. So I'm gonna get the picture here, and you can see like the texture is amazing. Like it's just so super smooth and creamy. And the best part about it is that, you know, it's not like a regular ice cream where it has the potential to sort of go icy, which is especially true if you overturn it. So this is a much more kind of a soft serve feel. So got the Nanaimo bits. I'm actually going to do the chocolate first. So I'm just going to drizzle some in. And we're just going to fold it through. We'll sort of wing it. There's no real recipe for this. I'm just making this up as I go along. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah. Again, you just want to be super careful with it. You don't want to deflate your ice cream too much. Yeah, it's been a yeah. Like it's been a while, so there we go. Starting to harden because of the cold ice cream, so it's going to do exactly what I was hoping it would do, which is give you those little textural crunches like you would have from that snappy chocolate on the top of an actual Nanaimo bar. So that's perfect. I'm happy with that. And there we go. That forget. Yeah. I'm like, I think you forgot half of the comment, so I'll forget the entire one. I'm just gonna put a little bit more in. Just really amp up the chocolate. Ah, okay, yeah. Oh, when you put in the deck again? So yeah, that would have been a couple years ago. But I don't think you actually were sitting outside for it. Oh, that was when it was like super smoky from fires, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I am very happy with how that warm chocolate has hit the cool ice cream and has hardened up, but it didn't seize. So that's excellent. Okay, and now we are going to add crunch layer. It's not really crunchy, it's the bottom of the Nanaimo bar, so it's going to have that sort of chew to it. And basically just peel and tear it into there. God, this smells so good. I could just, yeah. I'm glad that there's more Nanaimo bottom than I actually need for this ice cream, because that is definitely going to be a midnight snack for sure. I might actually just start making this and keeping it in the fridge for that particular reason, because you can't really go wrong. Sugar and coconut and cocoa. Yeah, it's pretty much like the best. I'm going to do these in a couple editions because I don't really want to go overboard with it. You know, I'm rinsing my hands off is stupid because I'm get them all messy again. It does combine there. Perfect. And oh, yes, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, at least we'll be able to have fires this season. I'm not pleased about the fact that we can, but, you know. Because that means we've had so much rain, but oh well. There is that. Okay. So oh, I'm liking the looks of this. I am liking the looks of this. Big chunks of coconutty Biscoff goodness. And you want to do it slowly so you don't, again, so you don't deflate everything. Just fold it in gently. Oh, that looks so pretty. And it smells like a Nanaimo bar right now. You've got that custard and the cream base, and then you've got the chocolate and the base layer crumbles. So yeah, it actually smells like a Nanaimo bar in here. I think we're hitting critical mass here. And the beauty of it is that this probably won't get like super crazy hard, because there's some things that you put in ice cream and they just turn into like bullets. It's like gummy, anything gummy. Like I don't know why I put gummy bears in something, but I did because I thought it'd be kind of fun. Oh, when I made like I went to Marble Slab, and you know they have thousands of toppings that you can choose from, and for some reason I thought gummy bears would be a good idea. And it didn't even take from the time I got my ice cream and walked out of the store to I got the first spoonful in my mouth, and they were like rock hard. So yeah, definitely not the best. But these, because they're nowhere near that, they're not going to I think that is going to do us for yummy chewy bits here. So I will let you know. They turn rock hard. We will not know the answer to that. That'll be the cliffhanger. Tune in next time to see if I have teeth. After I try this. Okay, I'm gonna finish stirring it in because my spatula is all covered in chocolate goodness here. Okay, so that looks pretty spectacular. Oh, you know, do they go as hard as they do when they're in like ice cream? Because and I don't mind, but my problem is I'm a chewer. Like even with like mints or anything like that, like Werther's, I crunch them. Any candy like that, I'm a chewer. I always end up chewing things. So that is my downfall, and Yeah, gummy bears, and I love gummy bears, but I like them pliable. I don't even like gummy bears when they've been like left to get a little stale. My parents, oh my god, my parents had this, underground, good question. Good question. Actually, I have something to show you in a second, database. Yeah, no, my parents have like this table downstairs in their family room that's like all of the candy that they get around Christmas or whatever, and they had this canister that they got one year, and it was like a jelly bean canister, and they just like, it's a nice canister and it's reusable, so they just kept filling it with stuff. But they had put in a bunch of jelly beans, and I did not realize how long they had been in there. And yeah, it was like Russian roulette with jelly beans, because most of them were good, but every once in a while you'd hit one that was literally like solid. Like I might as well just go chomp on the driveway. Like that's how hard it was. It was so bad. But I ate them anyways. Like it took me a while to get through them, but I finally ate them. Okay, so my disappearing has been me going to the freezer. When you're making ice cream, it's always a good idea to put whatever you're planning on putting it into the freezer just to chill out. And all we're gonna do, we are going to take the plastic wrap for a ride, it looks like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's try this again. That was fun. Okay. So anyways, back to the topic at hand. So you want to put it in the freezer just so that it has a little bit of an extra hand when it's setting up. And let's get that all scraped in there. I just need to take a different angle. Oh. And let's put a bit of a smooth out. Finish her off there. Unintentional jawbreakers, yeah. Although I did love jawbreakers when I was a kid. Jawbreakers. I like the ones that actually had like the not the one, I like the ones that turn into gum. Those were my favorites. So get a bit of a smooth out. I'm gonna move this stuff away. We are done with it. Now I've managed to get ice cream all over everything. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So, and then with any ice cream you make, whether it's the no churn or the regular kind, when you freeze it, you really want to make sure that you put a layer of plastic wrap directly on it. That just helps ice crystals keep ice crystals forming on it. So, but before this goes in the freezer, because it's not going to be ready for tonight, I am going to, of course, do a quick taste test. If I can grab it. Oh, there we go. Give it just right there. Perfect. Oh. Yeah. So, got the whole thing. Got the ice cream, got the chocolate bits, and we've got the chocolate chunk right there. Fuck Dairy Queen. Make this. Make this. You know what? Make that. That's all you need. That right there, that cannot live in my house. No, that cannot live in my house. That is bloody delicious. Wow. Oh yeah. That is like an Nanaimo bar to another level. Amazing. So, yeah, that's absolutely, people, make this. Because who wants to be baking in the middle of hot summer for a Nanaimo bar? Yeah, exactly. A dirty mud pie. Are you trying to get me banned on Twitch? underground? Really? Really? Okay, yeah, like I said, rest some plastic wrap after you've finished wrestling with it. God damn it. And just pat her down. It's like you would do with anything, like a curd or something like that, just to put it on the surface there. And then we are going to do one more layer just over the top in general. And it will go nighty-night. And it will be scoopable probably overnight. Like, you could eat it just like that. It's nice. It's a little, Oh! Have you had it? Is it good? What's in it? I don't know what a mud pie is. Is that like... Are there nuts in that? Okay. Excellent. And perfect. So you could eat it now. You could give it a couple hours and it would be more like soft serve. Or you could wait overnight and it'll be scoopable. It'll never be super solid rock hard. So if you're looking for like really crazy hard ice cream, this is not bad ice cream, but it's that really nice soft serve texture. So frozen gummy worms. Those sound like they'd be okay to eat on. Oh, Oreo pieces, gummy worms, fudge crumble. Oh. Oh, mud pie. Okay, I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of something that was like, I was thinking of Rocky Road. Never mind. Everything's all good here. So I'm gonna pop this guy back in the freezer, and it's going to spend the rest of the evening just chilling, bing chilling. Perfect. Okay, so clear some stuff up because now we are on to the main event. It is time to make some French fries. Best part is I've never made these this way before, so it should be either a complete triumph or I'll be calling McDonald's later.
Can I get a hell yeah?
We shall see. Best part is we get to bring out the air fryer. Yay! I feel like there should be like some sort of Grover redeem with that waving the arms. Yay! And finally the fries. Yeah, sorry, Umbra. It's been a process. I didn't think it was going to take quite as long as it did to roll out the pastry. And yeah, so yeah, planning did not work quite so well. I'm just going to double check these butter tarts though. So also going to double check this bacon. I can't help it. Oh yeah, baby. I think they need about 3 or 4 more minutes. Pastry's a little blonde still, but they are looking good. And now that this guy, he just looks sad. So I'm going to make him less sad by putting him in my face. Okay, well, he may not be less sad being eaten, but I'm less sad because being eaten. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. I'm like, that sounds ominous. And I've heard a lot of ideas on fries, so it'll be interesting to see if these actually work out. So I'm going to lay out some paper towel that I'm gonna dry them off on once I'm finished with them. Just gonna grab these last pieces out of the way. And let's get these babies underway. Any tips, Umbra? I would love to know. If you have any ideas that I should know about. And all this water was super starchy. So yeah. Oh, oh good. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm just going to give him a rinse too. because you really want to get as much starch off as possible. So give them a rinse in cold water here. And then I know that drying them is another key. So yeah. There we go. And that water is running pretty clear, so I'm happy with that. And excellent. So let's get these spread out and dried off here. And like I said, I've got a lot, so I might park some of these back in the bowl with more water and just let them sit overnight, because I think that's probably enough for one regular sized bonsai. Yeah, I'm gonna cover the rest in water, and I'll put them in the fridge overnight, and we should be fine. It's all fine. Are you bringing up Rocky now? Yes, you are, and I bet you didn't expect me to know that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna... Jeez. I swear to God, I have like every small appliance out right now, and my world is slowly shrinking. Okay, so get these out of the way, and they'll get fried up tomorrow, so Underground can actually have a chance at them. Oops! Well, I know I didn't want to cook all of them, but I wasn't going to throw them on the floor. And I move those over here. That guy Nick, good to see you! How are you doing? Welcome in, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a great week so far. I'm loving all of the posting you're doing in the Discord. It's always fun to see all the delicious things. Okay, so I'm just gonna pat these down, and while that's happening, I'm gonna get the air fryer started up. So let's move this baby over here, and I'm gonna set it to 380. And I'm gonna grab the basket out. 80-ish. And go. Alright, we're gonna check those butter tarts again. And let's see if we have liftoff or disaster. I'm hoping for liftoff. They looked pretty good. Oh, dude! Oh, man. Fuck. Wow! Oh, my goodness. Okay. You know what? It was worth all the rolling. Check those out, nice and golden, but still flaky. You can see it's that little, oh, man. Okay, I'm turning this oven off because I'm dying. It's so hot in here. Okay, how good are those? I'm excited for that. But they're probably molten right now, so we will not be doing any of the trying sort of thing. Okay, so get back to these guys here. You can see they've maintained their nice color. And I've used russet potatoes because those are the best potatoes for French fries. Obvi. And I'm going to just get them nice and dry. Thanks, Tat. I'm excited. I'm like, I want to try one so bad right now, but I'm like, I know that will take all of the layers of skin off my tongue and the roof of my mouth in no problem. Yeah, exactly. Long weekend all around. Actually, my boss is taking Monday off, so that pretty much means I have Monday off, so there's that. Okay, so I'm happy with how dry these are. And now I'm just gonna grab a bowl. More dishes, more dishes. And we are going to toss these in some oil as seasoning. Yes, they are. just because they have the integrity, the structural integrity to stand up to the frying or the air frying. And yeah, so now normally I wouldn't normally do a flavored oil with a poutine, but it's mine. I'm the one eating it, so I'm actually going to they maintain that fluffiness. Thank you. Yeah. And I left the skins on mine. I prefer the skin on mine. You don't have to. And yeah, this is not traditional for seasoning. Most people would just do like a plain olive oil. I'm going to use a olive oil with chilies in it, which is delicious and slightly spicy. And yeah, exactly. It's sciencey, very sciencey, which is why you have to soak them so much, because too much of that starch will keep them from getting any kind of crisp on them. And wow, this thing throwing some heat. Just a bit more. So I'm gonna use chili oil, and I'm also gonna season with some rosemary sea salt, because might as well make them tasty. See if I can just pick them up here. Nope. Obviously I can't just pick them up. I was like, oh, I'll just put... There we go. Alright. And I'm just going to give them a bit of a toss with that and the salt. It's not going to be nasty gravy. It's going to be good gravy. Good gravy. It's going to be good gravy. Yeah. So I'm just going to put this oil on here. Not too much. You don't need a ton, but just enough to have something on the outside to have the heat catch and crisp. And then a little bit of this salt. Did not realize I had not opened it yet. And apparently I'm not going to get it open. Wow. I'm on the struggle bus. Yeah, exactly. No such thing as good gravy. Aww. Oh, I'm sorry you think that. Okay, there we go. Oh, see? You make fun of me and things work. So I guess you get to keep making fun of me.
Meow!
You know what? There's a lot of rosemary in there. That's a lot of rosemary. Okay. You know what? We're gonna switch salts. I'm like, that's basically more rosemary and very little salt. And we are going to instead go with my favorite. And we are going to go with the smoked Maldon sea salt, which is highly addictive. I put it on everything, so I'm just going to do that. And you can season it with whatever you want. I just prefer this. And then we're just going to give these a bit of a toss, get them all nice and coated. And then we are going to get them on the tray. Now it's really important when you're air frying to do two things. I've read, and I'm sure Umbra can confirm this, is one, you need to do things in a single layer, and two, you need to flip them halfway through. So I'm just going to get these in the basket here. Exactly, we are here to help and spout out all of the stuff that will help you win your next round of Jeopardy with your friends, bar trivia, those sorts of things. Those are my jam. I'm good at those kind of things. So just want to try and lay them out evenly. I would normally grease the bottom of the pan, but since these are covered in oil, I'm not going to worry too much about it. We'll see if that was a bad idea at about T-minus 8 minutes. These are going to cook at 380-ish for about 12 to 15, and we'll see how the crisp factor is. I'm going to turn them in about 8 minutes. I'm going to try and turn them. We'll see. Excellent. Thank you, Umbra. Much appreciated. And, yeah, so we're going to see how that goes. Now's the time I wish I had Teflon fingers or like an actual silicone glove, because you know what's coming. It's going to be tong time again. Okay, I think that is about as many as we're going to be able to get on there. You don't want them too close together. They're just going to stick. You need to have because an air fryer is just a convection oven, so you want that air to be able to circulate around to really get all those surfaces, so you don't want to crowd the pan either. Just because it can be in a single layer, you kind of want a little bit of space in between each one. I learned that with chicken wings. Chicken wings like a little space. Ooh, no. Okay, that one's not going to sit nice. I have never so particularly arranged French fries in my life. Alright, I'm just going to give my hand a quick rinse here. And then we are going to slide these babies in. Just going to move these over here. That'll be for later. Alright. Let's do this. Yeah. So I'm actually just going to have my timers move a little bit. Actually, I'll just leave it. That'll keep the heat going. I'll time it on here. And we'll go for 8 minutes. And we'll see how it goes. And let's clean up some of the mess here, because now comes the other best part. And I'm sorry, Tat. Trigger warning if you're not a gravy fan. Yes, yeah, I was thinking that, Elizabeth, and I actually do have a smaller one that should work okay. Yeah, no, Umbra, thank you so much. I appreciate the vote of confidence about the soaking process, and then double confirming things that I figured I should be doing. So that's always a great thing to be reassured that you're not completely stuffing things up. Okay, and the final bit, while we're waiting for those to cook, is the gravy. And I just need to go grab my induction burner. I'll be right back. Okay. Now, because I don't have any drippings or anything, it's going to be, sort of, it's going to be, it's easy gravy. It's, it is what it is. I'm fine with it. It's going on top of French fries, better than going to be covered in cheese curds. And I actually have a special surprise for my favorite cyborg. Speaking of, okay, you know what? I'm gonna. This is me. I can skip this step. Freaking gravy fry. Oh yes, that guy. Then we get to the cheese curds. Oh man. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab my gravy ingredients. And I can already hear them sizzling away. That's a good sign. So yeah, because I don't have any, drippings from a roast, we're having to do this sort of the cheats way. So we are doing the easy gravy, and I've never done it this way because I usually have drippings left over from something. So I found a recipe that sounded like it's not going to be completely awful. So. And it also has easy in the name, literally. Easy. Aw. Well, Nick, now you can make it yourself. And with the stuff you smoke, can you imagine that on top? That would be amazing. Okay, so we're going to start off here. We need 2 cups. I need another measuring cup. I'll be right back. Where did I put it? There it is. So we need 2 cups of Nanaimo gravy. You're fired. Thank you, no. And also, if it's been a while since I've done this, tomorrow is not only July 1st and Canada Day, yeah. Right? I'm worried that one of these days he's gonna start. Yeah. Well, okay. Now you're unhired, and now you're hired and unhired. There we go. Back to the gravy. So we need 2 cups of stock. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to need that much gravy, so I'm literally going to just do a half recipe. And we are going to start with a cup of stock. Canada Day. Yeah, it's Canada Day. And it's also Bay Day. Database have their debut album coming out tomorrow. So click on the link that's in the chat and go check them out on Bandcamp. It's awesome. They're having an album release party tomorrow. So, you know what? 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain. And then after that, we'll be heading to Underground for the usual debauchery of House Night in Canada and hopefully more unpleasant snacks that he's forced to eat on stream for, you know, our amusement. And then on Saturday, because it's a weekend of fun, Database are back up on the schedule, and they will be playing 9 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Mountain at the Maverick 2 Festival, which is actually a day-long synthwave. So Evil Sun, DJ Tower, Chromapunk, Mark the Light, and all the other fabulous artists on that list will all be live on Twitch. So check it out. It's awesome. Thanks, Umbra. I'm glad you could make it. Okay, so yeah, welcome to all of our streams. Yeah, no kidding. Hey, I usually forget to do that, so I'm kind of proud of myself right now. So I'm gonna start this up, and I'm also gonna get to really amp up that beefy flavor. I'm just gonna get some bouillon in there as well. And you could do chicken, beef, or turkey. Doesn't matter what you like, or veg if you wanted. Just need gonna do a tablespoon of that, and oh, nice, that's awesome. I'm doing better than, oh, can't do that, it's too close. I use Better Than bouillon. It's awesome because it has actual like beef in it, so you get all of that beefy stuff, which is fantastic. So I'm gonna put a good schwack of that in there, and I'm gonna just heat this up and let it dissolve. Okay. We'll just give that a whisk around. And I love this bouillon. Yeah, exactly. And I love that you can get it at Costco. So they have, in the grocery stores, they have different flavors. Like there's a mushroom one, there's various flavors of beef, and there's reduced sodium and stuff. But at Costco, they have the giant ones of the beef, the chicken, and the vegetable. And they are definitely worth the time to go and pick up because they're so much easier than bouillon cubes. They're not as salty, and it gives you that nice that richness. Like it's got the actual beef dripping type stuff in there, so you get that little extra kick there. Just gonna let this melt down there. They're looking pretty good. Okay. Happy with that. I'm gonna take, oops. Ooh, that was close. I'm gonna take that off the heat. Move it to the side for a second here, because I just need to grab another pot. And we're going to make a roux, which we're gonna use to thicken up the, yeah. There we go. Perfect. I will eventually learn how to push the buttons properly. Umami. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what we're going for. It's that deliciousness. Anyways, so in this, we're going to put our butter. Oops, that's a little aggressively warm. Just gonna grab a spatula here. Oh my goodness. I know, I've taken the pot off. The butter has started to get too warm because it's sitting out in this hot kitchen. And I like that it tells me that it wants me to put something on the burner. Okay, wow. It's like the symphony of everything all at once. Stop all the binging already! Okay, there we go. I need a different spatula. Don't back it up. Yes, it is an induction burner, and I love it. It has been the handiest thing I've picked up in a long time. Just gonna move this stuff out of the way because it's fry time. We're gonna grab these fries out and see how we're doing. Just gonna grab a little rack to put them on so I don't. I'll actually put them on this instead. And let's take a look at these babies and get them flipped over. Anybody seen my oven mitts? other than me. Okay. Ooh. Okay. 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 That's not terrible. I'm excited about that. Oh, that's a little warm. Okay, I'm gonna flip these. Yeah, and they're not sticking. Perfect. Good. Excellent. Okay, I lied. They're about to stick. Not happening. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna go with the finger method because thongs are not gonna do an adequate job with this. And yeah, no. Probably not the smartest move, but it's going to be the fastest move because if we want these flipped tonight, yeah, fingers it is. Woo! Oh yeah, but look at those. Those turned out so well. I'm super happy so far. And they're starting, like, you can already feel they're starting to get that nice dichotomy between the soft inside and that crispy outside. So fingers crossed. I think I turned that one already. Fingers crossed. This might be a win. Pretty excited about that. Not gonna lie. And it's also probably a good thing that I actually, took the time to use the mandolin rather than slicing by hand. I apologize if I'm missing things in chat, but my fingers are on fire. I kind of want to get these back in, and I need to get these turned. Okay. So, oh, right. Yeah, so a good thing to leave the space in between them because they would stick together because they are still soft on the sides. So I figure another 8 minutes and we'll give them another peek and see how they're doing. But I'm feeling confident, which is the last thing I probably should have said, but I'm going to say it anyways. I'm feeling confident. So about another 8 minutes or so. Yeah, my fingers are not Teflon. I know. Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna go with about another. I'm actually gonna go with about 5 and see how it looks, and then if it looks like it could use a few more minutes, it's easier to add a couple than take away when they're burnt to a crisp. So let's go back in. They're smelling like French fries, so there's that. I'm excited about that. And now we can get back to the gravy. So timer. I'm gonna go for 5 minutes with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna put my butter on. Okay, and we're gonna turn this way down because it was a little too hot. And I'm going to start whisking here. I'm going to add my flour. I don't want it to clump up. But we're just making this roux here to thicken it for us. Oh, there we go. Okay. And I'm gonna just let it cook for a minute just to cook out that flour flavor. Yeah, absolutely, Nick, for sure. Yeah, exactly, and that's why you can take them to certain places. Like, you could take them to the uncooked spot that I've already taken them to and lay them out on a tray in the freezer and let them flash freeze, and then you can bag them up and they'll be frozen, and then you can cook them from frozen, or you can par cook them. So it's entirely up to you. Just gonna jack up the heat a bit on that. And good thing I am making a small batch, and I'm only going to be using half of this. I just realized I have the stuff over there. I did not make a half of this, so we're just going to use half of this. And yeah, so that's good. I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to bring this guy back. And while whisking, I have the double whisk going here. I'm actually gonna dump half of this out because I don't really need it. So, there we go. Yeah, that's about half. I'm gonna play this by ear. change to the other whisk. I like this one better. I'm just going to slowly whisk this in. Yeah, more dishes, more dishes, more dishes. All the dishes. All the dishes. You want to do it really slowly because you don't want your flour to clump up. And then we are going to let this come to a boil. And it would probably taste pretty good as it is right now. But I'm going to add a couple flavor bombs as it's coming to a boil. That will increase the likelihood that it'll be not boring gravy. Because who wants boring gravy? I don't want boring gravy. I don't think anybody wants boring gravy. So I'm just going to let this do that. But to that, I'm going to add some black peppercorns. And then I'll just strain this all out when we're done. And I'm going to add a bay leaf. Because, you know, bay leaf is good to add to the party, and that's about it. It'll leave early. And then lastly, I am going to add some fresh rosemary and fresh thyme. And I'm just going to pop them in straight like this. And yeah, like I said, I'll be straining this after, so I'm not worried. If you wanted to, you could put it in like a tea bag, like one of those tea bags you get at the Asian market. No. No, this is torture tat time, and I apologize. I know this is not on your list of fantastic things. But yeah, I'm liking the look of that, and just that quick add of those aromatics makes all the difference. And then because the bouillon's pretty salty, I don't think I'm going to need any salt, but we'll see once it's finished here. So I'm just going to let that simmer, come up to a bit of a bubble. I don't think I'll need to add any more flour, but we'll give it a couple of minutes just to double check. Yeah. What did it ever do to you? Oh, I think we're getting a little crispy here. Oh, perfect. I didn't even notice that my timer was about to come off. Okay. Yeah. I needed to choose different oven mitts than the ones I've got right now. All right. Oh, guys. Guys. I think we're in business. Hang on, I gotta stir this for a second here. Multitasking. Just when I want to get excited about French fries, gravy needs attention. I'm like, there we go. Okay. I'm happy with that consistency. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to take it off the heat. I'm just going to let it sit for a few more minutes with that while we check the fries. Move that, because if I boil it any longer, it is going to go gloopy, and we definitely don't want gloopy. I'm just gonna park that over there for now. And check these out. Okay, guys. Oh yeah. Got a little bit. Ooh! Oh, thanks, Umbra. Hot damn, people! We have French fries! Oh my god! Oh my god! I was a little skeptical, I won't lie. Because, you know, some things work in the air fryer, some don't. And I'm sure Umbra can attest to that, you know, not everything works. Not everything works. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off, but I'm gonna slide these back in to keep them warm, because I have one more thing I need to do to make this the best poutine ever, and I owe it to Canada and to, you know, everybody to do it justice. It just wouldn't be right to... It's butter gravy. Yeah, exactly. Butter gravy. That's a good way of putting it. I have one last treat here. Just let me grab it out of the fridge. Now, gotta love... Oh, and I should grab the cheese curds too. That would help. Now, two things. One thing is, gotta get the squeakers. If the cheese curds don't squeak, it's the wrong cheese. Don't do yourself a disservice. Get the squeakers. Other thing is, and I know this is not traditional, but it's going to be bloody delicious. And I don't know if you can read the label from that angle.